What are the pros and cons of living in Calgary? I've seen several videos on the subject and they all seem pretty similar. In this video, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on Calgary and try to bring up some new points that will help you determine whether Calgary is the right city for you. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like, I would really appreciate it. And I'm going to be posting more Calgary and real estate related content every week that you won't want to miss out on. So with no further ado, let's get right into the video. Pro number 1. It's the third best city in the world to find a job. A report was released by Movinja that listed Calgary as the third best city to find a job in the world, following Boston in the US and Munich in Germany. The report ranks 100 cities from around the world based on job opportunity, and some of the items they used to rank these cities were the economic strength of the businesses and the standard of living and career opportunities for all members of society. Here are some of the top industries in Calgary: aerospace, agribusiness, creative industries, energy, obviously, financial services, interactive digital media, life sciences, and technology. As you can see, Calgary is expanding its economy, so it isn't just reliant on oil and gas. We have lots happening here. Con number 1, overpopulated schools. So a lot of schools in Calgary are overpopulated, and with lots of people moving to Calgary, there aren't enough schools to match the number of new kids in the city. This is especially apparent when it comes to high schools in the suburbs. A lot of the schools in the suburbs are well over max capacity, such as Ernest Manning, Centennial, Nelson Mandela, and this is causing some families to worry that their children might not be able to make it to the community high schools, and they may have to go further to school instead. For inner city schools, however, they're under capacity. So, for example, Bowness, Crescent Heights, Lord Beaverbrook. I would recommend being proactive and registering your kids a year or two in advance if this is something that is important to your family. Pro number 2, one of the last big Canadian cities that is affordable. So Calgary is the 4th largest city in Canada. With Vancouver and Toronto having the average homes sell for $1 million, there's a reason why so many people are looking to Calgary as the next best option. The average price for a residential property in Calgary is about $460,000, which is significantly cheaper than other large Canadian cities. Not only is our housing affordable, but we have very low sales tax as well. In Alberta, the sales tax is 5%. To give you some perspective and something to compare that to, here's the sales tax for other provinces and territories in Canada. British Columbia, 12%. Manitoba, 12%. New Brunswick, 15%. Newfoundland, 15%. Nova Scotia, also 15%. Ontario, 13%. Quebec, 15%. Saskatchewan, 11%. And the only other provinces and territories with low sales tax are Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and Yukon. So we also have investors call us every single day trying to get into Calgary's market. This is because a lot of people are starting to notice Calgary, and when people move to the city and put their money in Calgary's market, prices will likely go up. Con number 2, lack of nightlife. I love Calgary and there's a ton to do, but when it comes to downtown nightlife, let's just say we aren't known for that. We have clubs, the Calgary Stampede, some fun bars, but we don't have a nightlife like Toronto or Vancouver. There's a lot more quiet here. We also don't get many of the huge music artists in our city. Most of the time they perform in Edmonton's Commonwealth Arena. The reason a lot of big artists don't play in Calgary is because our stadium can't handle the weight of the equipment needed for the big shows. So if you want to see your favorite artist perform live, you'll likely have to drive 3 hours to Edmonton. Pro number 3, outdoors plus adventures. So everyone talks about Calgary's nature, but there's a good reason for that. And it's because we have some killer nature and it's a perfect place to be if you're an outdoorsy person who likes adventure. We have the mountains, literally 45 minutes away. We have small towns like Bragg Creek that you can drive to in 30 minutes and feel like you're in a small town in BC. We have tons of parks in our city, 2 rivers, biking and walking paths, and tons of dog parks. If you like being outside, this is definitely a city for you and something you want to consider. You can have the big city lifestyle with the options to get away to the mountains for the weekend. Con number 3, the weather is crazy. So I personally don't mind Calgary's weather, but I have a lot of friends that complain about it. And when I say Calgary's weather is crazy, what I mean is it's unpredictable. It can start off being -10 in the morning and reaching 12 degrees in the afternoon. It can also be, 21 degrees on Monday and snowy on Tuesday. Our weather is on steroids. It can get quite cold during the winter, but we also get a lot of Chinooks, which warms us up. I personally love all of the diversity. I like to experience all the different types of weathers and seasons, but I understand where others are coming from. It can be hard to plan an event or dress according to the weather because, the weather can change once you leave your house. Pro number 4, the cleanest city in the world according to Forbes. So Forbes and Clearwater ranked Calgary as the cleanest city in the world in 2007 and one of the most livable cities in the world in 2017 and 2018. This one is a huge highlight for me because I'm very conscious about my health. I like to work out, and when I go for runs and do activities, it's nice to know that I'm inhaling clean air rather than the equivalent of a pack of cigarettes. If you don't care about your health, which you should, the other benefit of being in a clean city is you have better views. The mountains. Con number 4, traffic is getting worse. So if you're from Toronto or Vancouver, this one won't seem as bad, but with Calgary's growth, there are more and more cars being put on the road. Most of the time, traffic isn't really a problem, but at rush hour, however, there are certain roads you will want to avoid. One small accident, some construction, or any other little hiccup can make some of our major roads terrible during rush hour. If you are driving all the way across the city, you can expect 45 to 60 minutes if you are unlucky with traffic and accidents. For the most part, you should be able to get to most places in 25 minutes or under, but I warn you, if you can avoid Deerfoot, Glenmore Trail, or Crowchild at rush hour, you will probably save some time. With that being said, Calgary recognizes the traffic is getting worse with the population growth, and they have several projects that they are working on to improve future traffic. Pro number 5, delicious food. In my opinion, Calgary has amazing food. I think we are grossly underrated when it comes to how good our food is. And some restaurants I would recommend if you're coming to Calgary is, it's not sponsored, they don't even know I'm making this video, but it's Santorini's, it's Greek food, it's amazing. Native Ton, it's Mexican food. OEB, it's a brunch place. Ladybug Cafe, and the fantastic Pancake House. Seriously, these are all to die for, but especially Santorini's, that's my favorite. The final con number 5, is transportation. So even though we have a good public transportation, our city is so big that most people need a car. Unless you are organized and are okay with a longer commute, having a car is essential. Personally, I don't want to switch buses and get off trains to get to my destination. I would rather just drive there. But for some of you, taking the train isn't a problem. So those are my top 5 pros and cons for living in Calgary. I hope this was helpful, and if you want to know the 5 things you need to know before moving to Calgary, please hit the subscribe button down below. I will be making a video for that next week. So if you have any questions, drop a comment down below and I'd be happy to answer you. You can also find me on Instagram. My information is down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Take care.